Tonight at 8, President Cyril Ramaphosa will update us on the lockdown and coronavirus. Gauteng currently has the most active cases, followed by KwaZulu-Natal and the Eastern Cape. Ramaphosa is likely to speak about schools tonight. Teacher unions want schools closed during the peak of infections. A survey says 60% of parents, adults, want schools closed. Others, however, say it's safer for children to be at school, where their movements are monitored. There is also the worrying amount of the academic year being lost. Well, there are no perfect answers, but let's get the view of Professor Mary Metcalfe, Senior Research Associate at the University of Johannesburg, also a former Gauteng Education MEC. Good evening to you, Professor. Thank you very much for your time. What do you want to hear from the President tonight? What do you think the right answer is on this issue?
Thank you, Sally. I think the right answer is that the President needs to acknowledge the complexity. He needs to acknowledge the concerns that so many teachers have, that so many families have. And he needs to create a framework within which people feel confident to take the decisions that they need to take to ensure that schools are safe and that schools that open and are able to open have the necessary resources and have the confidence of the community.
So do you think that means that each school should decide for itself, each province should decide for itself? I don't think that's where the President's going on this one.
Well, the President has indicated in the media advisory that he's talking about a risk-adjusted strategy. And a risk-adjusted strategy means that we have to look at the levels of infection in a community, and we have to look at the levels of readiness of individual schools. I think that we need to accept that not all schools can be open all of the time. That school management teams need to be responsive to how the school is functioning in relation to health protocols and what is the level of community infection. And for that to succeed, we need the DBE to be clear that 2020 is not a year of passing or failing the year. It's 1 year that will be part of several years of catch-up. We can't have some learners prejudiced because they're not at school when other learners are going to school. Schools need to be seen as places of care and support. The teachers are safe, the learners are safe, and that the community is supporting the school to be safe.
Are you suggesting that individual schools should be allowed to make their own decisions?
They would need to make those decisions within a framework that would be driven by national department, provincial department, and local education districts. Because the different education districts are not facing the same challenges in terms of material conditions, nor are they facing the same challenges in terms of epidemics of the incidence of spiking. So I would like still see schools having that agency, because the responsibility of saying we will make sure that our school is safe is something that needs to be done. But it needs to be done rationally, not on the basis of panic, but on the basis of clear knowledge and information, clear guidance and support from government.
Am I to understand that you're not in favour of a blanket closing of all of our schools for another month, which is what we believe may well happen?
I'm not in favour of a blanket closing because the levels of infection differ around the country. I am in favour of what the unions have suggested, which is that there need to be clear collaborative action between stakeholders, between government, between the unions, between the school governing body association, where there's joint task teams speaking with one voice, having a common understanding. One of the things that's adding to the tension and the anxiety is the different voices and the different messages that are being sent. I think that we need to take some steps forward to consolidate in order to move forward.
Thank you very much, Professor Mary Metcalfe, Senior Research Associate at the University of Johannesburg.